Hi everyone, I am joined today by Jenn Sells, who is the newly appointed CRO at MoiiAI. So Jen, would you like to introduce yourself for anybody that hasn't met you before in industry?
Hi everyone, I am Jenn Sells. That is my real last name. It's my maiden name.
I love it.
Had it my whole life. Get asked that every single time I introduce myself. I started in PropTech. I've been in this industry for over a decade. I actually started as an asset manager in Seattle, Washington. I was managing about 1 million square feet of commercial. I was managing some luxury, multifamily, and then scattered site single family. So I had my hands in everything. And I came over to PropTech because, you know, 11, 12 years ago, there wasn't a lot of innovation happening and there were a lot of
Yeah.
problems in the industry that I wanted to be a part of solving. And so that's what got me into the tech side of it. So I was an operator first and came over to the tech side. And now I've been over here for a decade. So
Your move to Moi is relatively new off the back of a long was it even 9.5 year stretch almost at Latchel? So yeah, no stranger to the industry, but the last 3 months moving into a C-suite position, which definitely makes you a minority within a minority in the prop tech world. So tell us a bit more about Moi.
yeah, so Moi really, I joined Moi because I look for certain things. I'm a startup junkie. I love being in the startup world, and I'm looking for companies that are solving interesting problems, that have teams that I want to collaborate with and have thought leadership with. And Moi was doing all of the things at once. So what Moi is it's changing how organizations think about one of the biggest technology investments that operators have already made, their cameras. So most organizations for the last 20 years have been treating cameras as just recording devices. Something happens and then someone pulls up footage after the fact and reviews it. And at Moi, we think we've been asking our cameras the wrong questions. Instead of saying, just show me what happened, what Moi does is we ask, can you help me while it's happening? So we actually
Mm,
use AI to transform existing camera infrastructure into an active member of your operations team, detecting issues, alerting staff in real time, and giving your teams the operational intelligence without requiring them to install any new cameras. So whether it's
yeah.
multifamily housing, commercial real estate, hospitality, industrial environments, we have one simple goal, and it's just to help people get more value from the infrastructure they already own.
As you mentioned before, you're bridging across lots of different asset types with what you're doing, so not necessarily siloed into one particular field within prop tech. And I think through, I guess, all these different roles of networking that you've been involved with, one thing that really comes across as important to you is getting more women in prop tech to join women's groups and be part of those networks and really join together across different asset classes. So tell me a bit more about, I guess, where this passion came from and how you
Yeah.
kind of enact it in real life.
I was lucky when I first started in prop tech. I had two male founders who, firstly, didn't see women as a minority. At Latchel, most of our executive roles were women held, which was nice. But
Yeah.
then I'd go to conferences and I kind of felt like the odd person out. It was a lot of boys' club activities, lots of golf, lots of cigar bars. I love a golf, I love a cigar bar, but I couldn't quite find my footing. And I found myself often just being alone. And what really helped me was there were a lot of women in this industry that made room for other women. And there were lots of tables I got to sit at that I had no business sitting at. And the only reason I got to go to that table was because another woman in prop tech who did earn her seat there and fought to have it saved me a spot. And when I walked in the room, she said, come in. And I've had so many of those women in this industry. I think it's amazing. PropTech is really a niche in of itself. Women in technology, especially in leadership roles, is already a rarity, and
Yeah.
PropTech it's even smaller. So having these groups, and I think a lot of women look at these groups and sometimes they're like, I myself am an introvert, believe it or not. The idea of going to a happy hour making small talk kills part of my soul, but like joining these groups has helped me in so many different ways. Besides
Yeah.
just friendships, it's helped me understand the business better. It's helped me grow. And I think some women look at it and they're like, I don't really want to join the women's group. I feel like maybe that's segregating myself or limiting what I'm
Mm,
doing. And it's absolutely not. Like
yeah.
these groups are so impactful in every
Yeah.
facet of my career. They've been so impactful.
And it's funny because you were just saying how the thought of small talk at a conference, could eat you alive. But now I feel like we've added another face to our roster of the women in prop tech for whoever's watching this. So if anybody is at Blueprint, OpTech, Cretech, Jen is busy, busy, busy this side of Christmas. So I'm sure there'll be opportunities to go up and introduce yourself and make sure that you do. Because again, very safe space and very keen to get the conversation started and hopefully make more network through having conversations like this.
Absolutely. If you see me, come on over, say hi. Also, I'm always down for coffee, espresso martini, if so inclined. Like,
Yeah.
um,
If
but
post 11 a.m.
yes. um, but I do want to make sure, being a woman in this industry, you feel supported. And if you're feeling like you're having a hard time getting to some of those tables and you see me at one, come find me. If I can make the connection, I will 100% make it.
Yeah, love that. Well, likewise, we've got to stick together in this game. But thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me and raise awareness, Jen. And I'll see you likely at CRETech, if not before.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.